Yeah, it's always fun. It's always fun. You know, the tradition, what it represents, the history, and all the pride and great memories that have been created in it. And so hopefully we can continue to win games wearing them.
What's it like having BG back in the building?
It's awesome. It's awesome. Obviously, everything he's been able to do over his career, the impact he's had on his organization, the success he's had. Um, Excited to see him back out there on the field. Brings great energy, enthusiasm, and has that passion for the game. It never left, and that's why he's here.
How much was he talking today?
Talking enough. Talking enough. Out there making plays, and you feel it. And so, um, obviously, I know he's taking it one day at a time, and he's gonna be ready when his number's called.
Jalen, you touched on it after the game Sunday, Devonta's toughness. What kind of effect does that have on the other guys on the team when he just pops up after taking those big hits?
And I don't think it's something that's maybe that's voiced enough, but everybody sees it, everybody feels it, and it definitely oozes through the team. I mean, he's been that size his whole entire career, his whole life, and I remember times asking him, "Hey, man, how much you weigh? How much you gaining weight?" Or really, the question was, "How much do you weigh?" And I stopped asking him that as the years have gone on because that's no indication of what type of player he is. And so he's a hell of a player, and he's been making some big time plays.
Jalen, you're seeing the Giants, for the second time in 17 days. Is there anything you can take from watching their defense, like the first game, that you can apply to this upcoming game?
I mean, they got a really good team. They got a really good team, and they've been in all of their games that they've played, and so they've got a definite spark. They got a definite drive upon themselves, and I think that's one of the biggest things that I see. And then obviously, as a defense, the front seven is playing at a very high level. They're disruptive towards the passer, and then the defensive backs are sticky in coverage. And so we got to be very disciplined in what we do. Got a lot of respect for this team, and just take advantage of our opportunities when they come.
Jalen, you guys have seen more stacked boxes and six-man fronts this year than probably ever before. The success you guys had in the past game, particularly off play action, how much do you think that's going to help the run game moving forward?
I think controlling the things that you can control, mastering the ordinary things, the things that take no talent, I think that's what helps everything flow the way it's supposed to. And again, from a macro perspective, look at the games we did let short, that we did come up short in, and maybe the opportunities we missed over the season as we enter the halfway mark are all things that we control. And so just controlling those things, to the run game particularly, just being detailed, being disciplined, and executing the best way we can.
Jalen, do you ever see AJ's social media posts at all?
Yeah, I mean, I prep.
Are you ever confused by what he's writing? Like this week, you wrote "using me," but not using me.
Yeah.
Are you ever confused by things he?
I just keep my focus singularly on the collective.
You've looked at teammates that you had. What does it take to get there? And then what does it feel like to be in that type of zone in a game?
I mean, it's just that singular focus. Again, just having a singular focus on my job and trying to go out there and execute to the highest of my abilities. I think obviously, I'm not going into things maybe saying that I'm going to infect people in this way with this mentality or this level of fortitude. I'm just going out there and playing the game with the mental focus that I've developed over my years. And so I'd always, hope to influence people in the best ways. Ultimately, everybody gets to that mode in a different way, I guess, and I guess they're noticing that in me. And so just taking it a day at a time, a play at a time, and just focus on growth as I've always been.
Jalen, a lot was made of Devonta lobbying for the big shot play. How common is that on a week-to-week basis that the playmakers try to get together, see things on the field?
Yeah, he's very vocal. He's always been very vocal since college. of what he sees, what he thinks we can take advantage of, and he's confident in that. And yeah, that's very I mean that's very much who he is, and that's very much a strong thing. It gives me a lot of confidence when they say, "Hey, this is what I see. I'm feeling this," and you just go out there and find the flow and play.
On the seam touchdown to AJ, your anticipation was very good. Almost even before he's out of his break. What makes that happen at the optimum time?
Just repetition, being on the same page, and I think how those concepts are introduced and what the objective of the concept is. Obviously, you want to go out there and play in rhythm every single concept you have. Be on the same page with some of those things. Some are more intricate than others from a detail standpoint, and I think that one came up. Didn't necessarily expect that coverage, and it was a great time and great route by him, great route by AJ of showing up there. And we just want to continue to build off of those types of things. And I think even when you talk about the scramble or the delayed touchdown where AJ was backside, those are big time plays as well. Where I think in the Denver game we had opportunities where maybe we had a lot of idle time in the pocket, and we're trying to navigate. Hey, how can we create some separation on the scramble from within the pocket? And that was a great job by AJ making a play on that one too. So just want to continue to build off of it.
Your eyes light up when you see a linebacker on him? That play you're talking about?
I'm not necessarily looking at who's guarding him, more so just playing ball. Just playing ball. Yeah, well, he's a hybrid player. That guy plays safety, plays linebacker. But it's, again, a great play by AJ, being able to adjust on the backside route and play ball and get open.
The work that happens on those scramble drills, is it more on field or is it more like in the film room looking at where you want your receivers to go?
That's a happening. And again, you learn from all of your experiences. And so when I think about the Denver game again, I was making a point of. There was one where I had Jahan and, hey man, maybe let's be aggressive on these scrambles. Let's be aggressive on these scrambles and make sure we're spaced out. And we took a step in that coming into this game on that play for the first touchdown in that game.
I know your eyes are closer on their defense and what you're looking at for the Giants, but quarterback to quarterback, what have been your impressions of what Jackson Dart has been able to do so far?
Yeah, I got a lot of respect for him. A hell of a player. Plays the game in a very aggressive way, dynamic way. He's a big-time playmaker, and he's been that way since his days at USC. And so it's been cool to see him grow into where he is, and obviously he'll continue to grow and excel.
What's the difference for you under center compared to shotgun? And then there's a school of thought that it's harder for the QB run game from under center. Is that the case?
Harder for the QB run game from under center?
Yeah, because, RPRs and RPOs are typically out of the shotgun there. So it's that, and I don't play quarterback, that's what I'm asking.
Well, I think conceptually, there's a way to do quarterback run game from under center. It's just a matter of where we are creatively, and what positions we put ourselves in. So I think that's that. You take me to like the double wing, that type of stuff. That's traditional for quarterback run game, or doing a lot of keepers and booting off the backside. But not to get in too much into scheme. It's just more so how we choose to attack a team that week and the level of execution we have in that.
Have you seen defenses maybe keying in or trying to account for the QB run game more this season? It's not something you guys have done as much as in years past.
I can't necessarily say. I think it's just the overall flow that we're still navigating and still trying to find. And it's about consistency in that. And that's a culmination of a lot of different things. And it's time, it's experiences together, and then it's communication. And I think the two people that are impacted by that the most are, typically the quarterback and the play caller from a output standpoint. And so it's always about trying to get on the same page, always trying to navigate that and say, how can we learn from our experiences, because we don't have, last year, the year before, and the year before that to account on in terms of doing this thing together. And so those things are important. And I think you got to be kind of practical about your approach with that. Obviously, good to kind of find, somewhat of a rhythm in his last game, but there's tons of room to improve.
Has that taken longer than you thought it would
What's that?
to find that consistency?
No, no, it hasn't. It hasn't because it's been this way every time we've had to change. And so, look, when we didn't have to change, obviously wasn't this way. And so I think it's a clear thing, but ultimately you work through those things. And like I said last week, you accept those challenges when they come in, and got a lot of confidence in KP and the direction we're going. Ultimately, our execution as a team, our execution as a unit, mastering the things that take no talent, those things that have, gotten us in some of these games and made them closer than what they maybe could have been, and then ultimately put us in positions not to win the game. Controlling those things are very important. So we just got to continue to build, control the things we can, and move forward.